So this is the default setting when you first open up the game. It's not bound to any particular hero. I kind of tried to do my best to make an Overwatch symbol here, but it's a little messed up. The home button is your hero selection key. Since there's no way to do it automatically like the Razer keyboard does, you kind of have to do it manually, but I think it's pretty easy. Basically, here you got all your heroes. I tried to pick like a color that I think best represented them. But it's also lined up with the selection screen in-game, so you got your assaults here, defense heroes, tanks, and supports, and they're in the order they are then. So it shouldn't be too hard to pick. Let's try Mccree, for instance. So you got your movement keys, yellow. The ability icons have a different color. So in Mccree's case, it's like a light orange. And then your communication keys are all a different color. So in this case, it's blue. And I included V because that's my push to talk. But I mean, if you use that as melee, it's also still there. All right, so when you push and use an ability, it'll go black and slowly become this color as it comes off cooldown. So that's concussion grenade, right? Which I think is 12 seconds. And then when it comes off cooldown, it'll turn back to the other color. So you can kind of test like that. So for instance, the dodge roll, it'll do that, and it'll turn back to orange when it's ready to use again. The ults don't do this because the cooldown is dependent on how good you are, so there's no real way to track it. But again, you can also hit home at any time to go back to hero selection, or if you hit home on hero selection, it just goes back to default. So let's pick, I don't know, May, for instance. With abilities that last a certain amount of time, sometimes it'll change color. So for instance, while it's red, that was Ice Wall. So Ice Wall is active right now, and then when Ice Wall ends, then it'll start going on cooldown. So for instance, Blizzard is probably a better example. The Blizzard's up, it's running, people are getting mad, and then once it's over, it'll stop being red and start coming off of cooldown. There are a few other cool things. I paid some special attention to heroes I play more. So for instance, in Yada, I gave him a different color for Discord and a different color for Harmony, whatever, and then his ult blinks when it's active because I couldn't find a color that I think was good. Let's see, Lucio has a nice green on his shift when it's speed mode, and it changes to yellow when it's heal, and also there's this cool little like wave effect when you switch. Same thing for Bastion, not that I play Bastion because I'm not scum, but when you switch into turret mode, it'll do this cool little wave. And then it'll also change colors depending on which mode you're in. So that's turret mode. That is recon mode. And then you can hold this for self-heal and such. And yeah. I believe the other one is Hanzo. Right, Hanzo. So Hanzo doesn't... His cooldowns are weird because the cooldown actually starts when you fire off the ability, not when you push the button. So I didn't actually bind it to start like changing colors when it's on cooldown. Instead, I changed it so that there's this cool little like wave effect when you change what type of arrow you're shooting. So that's Sonar, that's Splinter. Yep, and that's basically it. Things I might want to add in the later. I was thinking about adding a different color for Diva when you get out of her mech. Right now it doesn't do that, but I might think about it. Any other ideas you guys might have, I'm open. And this is completely customizable as well. If you have CUE, you can change things around. All the key bindings should be the same with the exception of this key right here. I rebound this to tab on all profiles just because when I'm typing, I like to just switch groups with this and then send it off with that. But everything else should be exactly what it does. And all the buttons still work like a normal keyboard. They just have these really cool lighting effects. But yeah, that's basically the summation of it.